Now, anxiety is a cause of what we wish we should have done. We should be so far ahead. We have to do this. I'm thinking about tomorrow. Fear. False evidence appearing real. It hasn't happened. It may never happen. And it's probably not going to happen. Now, as a neurolinguistic programmer, fear and excitement is the same feeling. It's the way you look at it. So I believe there's no such thing as fear. I'm excited. Of course, I'm coming onto this stage and I'm sweating. I'm thinking, when's it going to be my turn? I'm thinking of all these things. But then I have the decision, and I can decide to turn that into excitement. So I'm standing here today, and I'm very excited to be standing here today. So the nerves go, I start feeling good, and then the words just overtake. So who I am today is the founder of Free to Embrace Me, which is a company to empower women to love themselves, walk the talk and talk the walk, and unleash their feminine power. I am also the poet who writes a way to freedom. And the reason why I call myself this name is that I did a bit of research when I realized at the age of 39 that I turned my words into poetry. Phyllis Wheatley was a Senegal young girl sold into slavery at the age of 8. Now, she was the first enslaved girl to be able to publish her poetry back in 1773. Her poetry was to fight against inequality encouraged by slavery. So why do I call myself the poet who writes a way to freedom? Because every time I pick up a pen to express myself, it begins with dark thoughts, then it turns into empowerment, then it turns into motivation, and by the end of the poem, I feel free. So as a child, we love to play, we love to create, we love to go out into the park, we love to express ourselves. We felt free. So I want to ask you all a question. When have you gone into your inner child and set yourself free by creating, painting, reading, writing, listening to music? Who wants to put their hands up? Who does that? One person? 3 people? Gosh, you guys are so boring. My daughter, who's turning 20, says to me, Mum, why don't you just act like a mother? I'm like, what does a mother act like? I'm just me. So I'm going to do something, I'm going to break protocol and I'm going to share a poem. But I first want to talk about this book. It's called Soul of a Woman, A Journey to Self-Love. I published this book in February 2020, just before the lockdown. It's my story of overcoming challenges with myself. But it's also a book that reflects on things that I've done, and it's a coaching book to help you coach yourself out of any challenges that you have. I didn't know that my story was going to turn into me being on stage and empowering women and connecting with women, and that's why we're here to connect with one another, right? It turned into my victory. I'm now speaking and empowering others. And every word that I'm speaking is to empower you. Even when I share with you my poetry, it will connect with you. It will allow you to see that you have the power to heal yourself. I am the creator of my life. I am the creator of my life. And I give God all the glory for who I am today. So overcoming this condition allowed me to realize that it's not so much that we have a mental health issue or illness. Yes, there's loads of things that some people have to take medication for. But during those 5 years, I refused to take a pill because I had the faith the size of a mustard seed, and I believed I could one day move mountains, and I'm moving those mountains. Just like Venetia, she had the faith. She's moving mountains. This is something very small. It's just the beginning. We've still got another 2 years here, and I believe we're going to have more, right? Venetia? Yes? Yes. So we all have the faith the size of a mustard seed to move mountains. So why aren't you moving your own mountain? Why are you staying in a box? Perfection is a perception born from humanity's expectations of what we should look, behave, and be like, and they want to put us into a box. When we create, no one can fit us into that box, right? So before I run out of time, because I want to respect everybody's time, I'm going to share a poem with you. And I know many of you have been left unspoken. I want you all to close your eyes first. If you're listening, and take a deep breath. Don't worry, I'm not going to steal your purses or your cameras or your phone. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes. Unspoken. Alone, I meditate. The sounds of my breath, the beat of my heart, blood-filled veins, evidence that my soul is alive. Do you know what it feels like to drown? What it feels to surface for a moment only to be put back down? To hate yourself so much, you want to escape your voice, your thoughts, your words, then life. To wake up every single morning wondering how will it end, to hate the birds as they chirp, and the sun as it burns through your windows, yet you're afraid to look. This pain has a purpose, they say. Try telling that to someone who lost thyself to itself, and it was no one's fault but herself. Help is all it took. One word, one voice, one act. This poem isn't a cry for help, it's a spoken word from the heart as evidence that I am strong, and so are you. Vulnerability had to come through. I had to give it space to be, because in the end, that is all I had left. Vulnerability is sexy. I can tell you that. It helped me to rediscover myself, to attract kindred souls, to finally be heard and normalize mental health, to be the queen I am today. My tears were finally seen. I didn't have to hurt anymore. I could remove the makeup and show up as myself, for me, and then the world. Because I'm beautiful in all my flaws, in my imperfections. I love so much harder now because I love myself more than I love anyone else. And I allow myself to be loved too. I am beautiful. I am vulnerable. I am loved. I am true. And if you ask me, would I change anything to be standing where I am today? The answer is no. Because my pain turned into my purpose. I'm living it in all its essence simply by being me. The chains have been broken, leaving me with a voice, with many words still unspoken. Thank you.
Thank you, Neusa. Est-ce qu'on peut encore faire plus de bruit que ça? Merci. Et vu qu'on s'endort un peu, vu qu'on est fatigué, on va prendre